call me die, release the trigger, see impacts, pull off target, look over your shoulder, assess BDA.
Get ready for a bombshell revelation that will shake the very foundations of your understanding of military might. Forget everything known about modern warfare, because a lid is about to be ripped open on a truth so electrifying and audacious, it's been deliberately buried by those who fear its sheer, unadulterated power. This is more than a story. It's a bare-knuckle brawl of ideologies, a clash between cold, calculating strategy and the raw, visceral scream for survival on the battlefield. This is the untold saga of the A-10 Warthog, an aviation icon that, against all odds, shocked the world with its defiant resurgence after upgrades that critics swore would never happen. Prepare for a shocking journey into the stunning reality of a brutal titan, a force of the skies that with every thunderous roar rips apart the very foundations of military doctrine. Its continued existence, its very future, is a whispered curse among the elite, a stark reminder of their failed prophecies. Move past the dry blueprints and the mundane statistics. This isn't about mechanical parts. This is a scorched earth conflict of worldviews, a primal clash echoing through the hallowed, often suffocating corridors of military power. On one side, there are the slick, almost ethereal modernizers. They glide through hushed conspiratorial halls, preaching a gospel of cold, hard budget cuts, mind-numbing extended range, and blinding speed. Their sermons envision unseen strikes, vanishing acts performed by sleek, futuristic machines. They champion a future of abstract, distant warfare, where battle chaos is a sanitized holographic simulation and elegance reigns over brute force. But then, a thunderous, visceral roar erupts from the other side. A voice, raw and unyielding, ripped straight from the blood-soaked heart of the battlefield itself. These are the frontline warriors, the grunts, the infantry, who know, deep in their very souls, the irreplaceable, life-saving, terrifying truth of effective, direct air support. They demand a guardian angel, a roaring, steel-winged demon of justice that can materialize from the skies and rain pure, unadulterated hell on their enemies. To them, the Warthog is a promise, a symbol of unwavering commitment from the air to the ground. Can anyone believe the sheer, unadulterated audacity? The insidious attempts to axe this magnificent weapon, this unstoppable force of nature, are not even rooted in its combat shortcomings. Because, and this must be said with terrifying honesty, there are simply none when it comes to its specialized, horrifyingly effective role. Instead, these modernizers point to its outdated appearance, as if a warplane's ability to obliterate enemy tanks is measured by its runway model looks. It's a grotesque mockery of logic. Yet a profound, almost primal scream of protest surges whenever the A-10's retirement is even whispered. The public, the veterans, and most importantly, the soldiers whose lives depend on it, rise up in defiance. Because the pilots, they adore this ugly brute. And the infantry, they know no truer friend soaring above them, raining pure hell on their enemies than the mighty A-10. How, in the name of all that is holy, did this loud, lumbering, undeniably ungainly machine transcend its humble, almost comical looks to become a very symbol of unrivaled, devastating efficiency? How does it survive, thrive, even reign supreme in an era obsessed with sleek, vanishing stealth fighters and hyper-digital warfare? This defiance of conventional wisdom, this enduring relevance, is the heart of its shocking story. Prepare for the electrifying, often shocking story of the Warthog, a marvel of engineering that defies all logic, a steadfast protector that spits in the face of conventional wisdom, and a living, roaring testament to a philosophy that puts raw, unadulterated, ground-pounding effectiveness above anything else. The very genesis of this beloved aircraft is a tale born from sheer desperate necessity. It began in the tumultuous late 1960s, a chaotic crucible of conflict that forged an undeniable, chilling truth. The United States absolutely, desperately needed a specialized aircraft, purpose-built from the ground up, to throw its unyielding might behind its brave ground troops. Picture the brutal reality of the Vietnam War. The U.S. Air Force's only real close air support asset was the ancient, outmoded, propeller-driven Douglas A-1 Skyraider, a pathetic relic from the 1940s. It was agonizingly slow, a lumbering target, and packed a frankly pathetic punch. The grim, horrifying tally speaks volumes. A stag-jarring, jaw-dropping 266 of these aircraft were lost. This brutal, bloody reality sent shockwaves through the military. In a pivotal, game-changing moment in September 1966, the visionary General John P. McConnell, then Chief of Staff of the U.S. Air Force, issued a groundbreaking, urgent directive: develop a dedicated CAS aircraft. This was to be the very heart of a revolutionary new program, the Attack Experimental, AX. Just one short year later, a fervent request for information was blasted out to 21 of the nation's premier defense contractors, a desperate plea to aviation's brightest minds to craft a miracle. The path to true greatness is never smooth. It took until the spring of 1970 for the U.S. Air Force's detailed, unyielding vision to finally crystallize. A refined request for proposals roared to life, laying down uncompromising demands: a maximum speed of 460 miles per hour, a mission radius of 285 miles, an external payload capacity of up to a colossal 16,000 pounds, a ludicrously short takeoff distance of just 4,000 feet, and a price tag that would make a jaw drop: no more than $1.4 million per aircraft, which in today's money is a mere $12 million. This was a revolution in firepower. The AX program, against all odds, birthed a titan. It marked a historic, unprecedented first: the initial U.S. Air Force aircraft engineered exclusively for CAS. This singular, brutal focus defined its very being. And this is where the Warthog earned its legendary nickname. It was openly, brazenly teased, and rightly so, as the first aircraft designed around a gun. And there's a profound, terrifying truth in that cheeky jab. Because in a stroke of parallel genius, the command did not simply ask for an attack aircraft. They issued a SEP-ARIT, chillingly specific request for proposals for a rotary automatic 30mm AX cannon, a weapon of absolute, unadulterated destruction, boasting a scorching, this almost unbelievable rate of fire of 4,000 rounds per minute and the highest possible muzzle velocity. This was a flying gun platform. After an intense, grueling, utterly meticulous selection process, Fairchild Republic was handed the sacred, monumental task of forging the aircraft, while General Electric took on the colossal, terrifying responsibility of engineering the cannon. The birth of a legend was imminent. At its very core, the entire audacious design philosophy of the A-10 Warthog revolved around one uncompromising, almost insane idea: relentless, intimate, continuous support for ground troops. This was an unbreakable, brutal commitment. The Warthog was conceived to linger over the very inferno of the battlefield, to strike again and again, defying the enemy with its sheer, unwavering, terrifying presence. The masterminds behind this attack aircraft crafted a masterpiece of resilience, simplifying every technical solution to its absolute, ingenious zenith. Just behold its utterly ingenious design. The mighty twin TF-34 GE100A turbofan engines, each roaring with an impressive 9,065 pounds of thrust, are perched ridiculously high on the fuselage. This strategic placement keeps them gloriously out of reach from ground-based threats. This brilliant configuration allows them to remain operational even during crucial ground servicing and rearming, drastically slashing the agonizing time it takes for the Warthog to hurtle back into the fray. For added stealth, their infrared signature is dramatically suppressed. Engineers encased these vital power plants within unyielding firewalls and armed them with built-in fire suppression equipment, a chilling testament to the A-10's unwavering, almost suicidal commitment to survivability. The A-10's 4 fuel tanks are another stroke of absolute genius. Positioned strategically closer to the center of the airframe and brilliantly separated from the main fuselage, they present a formidable challenge to incoming fire. Even if a line is severed, damaged fuel lines are self-sealing. Should the damage prove too extreme, a system of check valves springs into action, preventing a single precious drop of fuel from flowing into a compromised tank. Most fuel system components are nestled inside the fuel tanks themselves, meaning a component failure will not result in fuel loss. Even the refueling system is a marvel, designed to purge itself after use, minimizing vulnerability. Mesh polyurethane foam envelops both the interior and exterior of the fuel tanks, turning them into impregnable fortresses. But what if, against all odds, an enemy managed to utterly obliterate all 4 fuel tanks? This is where the A-10's legend truly shines. With its 2 self-sealing sumps, this warplane guarantees a fuel reserve of at least 230 miles. It sounds utterly insane, a feat of pure aviation fantasy, yet this unbelievable capability has been proven by A-10 pilots themselves in countless harrowing combat sorties over the past incredible 50 years. This is a flying fortress, a screaming, defiant testament to unyielding, impossible resilience. While the A-10 begrudgingly earned its iconic nickname Warthog from the amusing, grotesque resemblance of its protruding gay-weight fangs and massive front landing gear to the snout of an African boar, a more fitting, a more shockingly accurate moniker would be Terminator. This machine is, quite simply, practically indestructible. Prepare for its battle-hardened defiance. This Titan can shrug off direct hits from armor-piercing and high-explosive shells up to a chilling 23mm caliber with astonishing ease. It laughs in the face of conventional threats. The A-10 boasts dual redundancy for its hydraulic flight systems, and for the ultimate failsafe, a mechanical backup system stands ready. This plane simply refuses to be brought down. The legendary manual reversion mode grants the pilot an almost miraculous ability to guide their wounded bird back to base, even if it suffered catastrophic, unimaginable damage. An engine ripped away, half the tail gone, an elevator shredded, or half a wing ripped off. Yet the A-10 can still limp home. Finally, and perhaps most terrifyingly, the pilot, that precious human cargo, is enshrined within an impenetrable fortress. The Warthog's cockpit and critical flight control systems are encased in a colossal, mind-boggling 1,200 pounds of titanium aircraft armor. Affectionately known as the armor bathtub, this formidable shield comprises titanium plates ranging from 0.5 to 1.5 inches thick. This impenetrable sanctuary can withstand direct 23mm cannon fire and even shrapnel from devastating 57mm shell fragmentation. Inside this ultimate protector, the bathtub's interior is further fortified with a multi-layered nylon spall shield. Even the front windshield and canopy are resistant to small arms fire. To put its armored might into true perspective, a mind-boggling 6% of the A-10's entire empty weight is dedicated solely to its armor. It's a flying tank. But the Warthog's cunning extends far beyond mere brute force. To make it an even more infuriating, impossible target, many A-10s feature a brilliant, almost cruel deception, a fake canopy painted in dark gray on the underside of the fuselage. This ingenious trick disorients enemies regarding the aircraft's true orientation and maneuvering direction, turning every aerial engagement into a maddening, impossible guessing game. At the absolute roaring heart of the A-10's terrifying effectiveness, its very soul, if you will, is its unparalleled, monstrous weapon, the GAU-8A Avenger cannon. This is one of the most monstrously powerful aircraft cannons ever conceived. A hydraulic, 7-barreled automatic Gatling gun that literally eats enemy armor for breakfast. The Avenger's rate of fire was initially selectable, a blistering 2,100 rounds per minute on the low setting, or a truly terrifying 4,200 on the high. However, its operational standard eventually settled on a single, yet still devastating, value of 3,900 rounds per minute. At this astonishing rate, the A-10 could empty its massive magazine in about 18 seconds of continuous ground-shaking fire. But in practice, to conserve precious ammunition and prevent overheating, the gun was typically unleashed in terrifying 1- and 2-second bursts. And here's a revelation that will truly shock anyone. There are no technical limitations preventing the GAU-8 from firing continuously until its ammunition is completely depleted. A pilot could theoretically unleash every single round in one glorious, unbroken burst without causing a single bit of damage to the cannon itself. Such a furious torrent would dramatically shorten the service life of the barrel, and the gun would then demand extensive additional checks. It's an insane testament to its raw, unbridled power that such considerations are even necessary. The innovation extends to the GAU-8A's ammunition itself, a groundbreaking design. The use of aluminum alloy casings instead of traditional, heavier steel or brass was a stroke of genius, allowing the gun to carry a staggering 30% more ammunition capacity for a given weight. Speaking of scale, prepare to be absolutely awestruck. The 30mm Avenger cartridges are comparable in size to a standard beer bottle, while the gun itself boasts dimensions that literally exceed a Volkswagen Beetle. It's a colossal piece of machinery. In fact, to remove this behemoth for maintenance, ground crews are literally instructed to install a jack under the tail of the aircraft. Otherwise, the entire A-10 would simply tip over. A startling illustration of how the cannon accounts for the lion's share of the Warthog's front weight. This is the very unshakable foundation of the entire aircraft. Could a legend like this, a true survivor, possibly endure without constant vital upgrades? No, sir. Not a chance in hell. The Warthog has fiercely defied obsolescence, not by clinging to the past, but by relentlessly evolving, adapting, and savagely embracing new technologies to sharpen its already formidable edge. The late 1970s marked the first wave of brutal, necessary enhancements. A-10s received the groundbreaking PAVE Penny laser receiver, allowing them to precisely pick up reflected laser designators, enabling deadlier accuracy. The 1980s then ushered in an inertial navigation system, granting superior positional awareness. The early 1990s witnessed the truly significant low-altitude safety and targeting enhancement, LAST upgrade, arming the A-10 with computerized weapons guidance, an essential autopilot, and a critical terrain warning system. An absolute necessity for an aircraft designed to hug the ground. The late 90s and early 2000s saw it embrace precision with global positioning system navigation and crystal-clear multifunctional displays. The LAST-E system was further supercharged with the formidable integrated flight and fire control computer. Even as the Air Force acknowledged the aging Warthog's engines were starting to deteriorate, ambitious plans to replace them with gleaming new power plants emerged. However, such a monumental undertaking carried a colossal price tag, over $2 billion in 2001 alone, leading to the inevitable shelving of the idea. But the spirit of the Warthog would not be deterred. What followed was a meticulous, vital, and frankly Herculean wing replacement process that stretched painfully into the 2010s. The Air Force initiated the thick-skin urgent spares kitting program. This comprehensive overhaul saw new wings meticulously installed, dramatically boosting the Warthog's readiness, slashing maintenance costs, and most importantly, breathing vibrant, ferocious new life into the aging attack aircraft. This monumental effort guaranteed its unwavering relevance until at least 2035. And then, in a truly exciting, almost unbelievable announcement in the winter of 2016, Boeing delivered the ultimate confirmation, the shocking truth. The A-10, now re-winged and revitalized, would confidently remain in service without problems until 2040. A testament to enduring, brilliant design and critical, life-saving upgrades. But the crown jewel of its modernization, the moment that truly sent shockwaves through the aviation world, came with the monumental transformation from the A-10A to the A-10C, a truly massive, unprecedented leap. Between 2005 and 2011, the entire fleet of 356 A-10s and OA-10s received a complete cutting-edge overhaul. It gained all-weather capability, an improved fire control system, electronic countermeasures, smart bomb guidance, and a modern communication suite with Link 16 and SATCOM. And the cockpit? A true pilot's dream, featuring 2 multifunction displays and the ergonomic brilliance of a hands-on throttle and stick configuration. The absolute pinnacle of these upgrades arrived with Suite 10, which brought astonishing multiple target list improvements. Envision this horror for the enemy. The pilot now had the unparalleled, almost impossible ability to engage multiple targets with 3 different types of weapons in a single pass. This transformed the A-10 into an even more versatile, devastating, and truly horrifying force. Furthermore, the aircraft achieved full integration of the revolutionary AGAR-20 Advanced Precision Kill Weapon System laser guidance systems. This cutting-edge technology allows for precise targeting. The A-10 was renewed, revitalized, and ready for absolutely anything the battlefield could throw at it. As fiscal year 2024 dawned, the U.S. Air Force still commanded a formidable fleet of 218 A-10s in active service, a stark, defiant punch in the face to those who sought its early, premature demise. Though 39 had made their solemn, final flight to the boneyard that same year, the Warthog's brutal roar echoed on, a testament to its unyielding spirit. Despite the persistent whispers from military high command, who argue these legendary attack aircraft face increasingly limited survivability in potential future high-level conflicts, particularly terrifying scenarios like a confrontation in the Pacific against a formidable adversary such as China, the Warthog absolutely refuses to be grounded. This opinion from Air Force representatives has hilariously failed to deter Congress, which consistently and actively blocks regular, infuriating attempts to scrap the mighty Warthog fleet. And here's the electrifying, undeniable truth that will shock the skeptics. They are still carrying out vital, brutal combat missions today. Take October 2024, for instance. Warthogs were among the critical aircraft deployed to the Middle East amidst surging fears of a wider, bloody escalation. Since then, these veteran attack aircraft have been deployed extensively, conducting crucial strikes across Syria. The Warthog is not a relic of the past. It is a living, breathing, active warfighter on the global stage. Speculation has recently buzzed that the A-10s, once the U.S. Air Force finally relinquishes them, could migrate to other air forces, perhaps those of Jordan or Ukraine. But to truly grasp the essence, the very soul of the Warthog, one must understand this profound, simple truth. It is not merely a plane. It is a philosophy. It represents an engineering solution that unflinchingly, unapologetically places the successful fulfillment of its mission and, more profoundly, the lives of the infantry below, above any fleeting notions of aesthetics, modernity, or fashionable design. It is power encased in a solid, defiant metal shell, a rare and magnificent example where technology does not become obsolete. Its enduring, unshakable value is not found in cutting-edge microchips or invisible stealth coatings. Its true, terrifying worth lies in the unbreakable idea it embodies: dedicated, visceral, overwhelming close air support. As long as there is a desperate, screaming need to support brave soldiers on the brutal, unforgiving battlefield, this aircraft will remain. The Warthog is a true, unsung hero of the invisible front. It rarely graces television screens. It does not dazzle in pompous, meaningless air shows. Instead, it quietly, consistently, and with extreme devastating effectiveness does precisely what it knows it can do better than anyone else on Earth. It is the unglamorous, unflinching, utterly indispensable guardian of the ground troops, a beacon of defiance in the most chaotic, hellish environments. Now the microphone is passed, because the legend continues, but even legends must eventually pass the torch. So tell us, if anyone dares to whisper the name, who, in the name of all that is holy, could ever truly replace this legendary, defiant aircraft? So, if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more exciting stuff. Thanks for watching.